No, I'll go. Sudhir
Thank you, Steve. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
takes number 7.
7. And here is your picture coming up.
Okay. 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 Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. What I see here is a stadium. It's a Green Bay Packers game. And the stadium is filled in a very safe way of groups that are socially distant from one another. I see there's lots of like groups of 5 that are together, some groups of 2, and some groups of just 1. And it looks like they're all 6 feet apart. So it looks like the stadium is, well, probably at about 1/8 of capacity. But there's a lot of people and they're filling it up all the way to the, it looks like they're going all the way from the first row to the last row and going all around the circumference. I wonder what the experience would be. I can see from the ground outside the stadium that there's snow on the ground, which you expect in Green Bay, and it is cold. And now you don't have as much body heat to keep you warm. When the people are yelling and shouting, like if there's a touchdown or an interception, I wonder how loud it would be with the small crowd. And also, I know yelling is one of the worst things that spreads the disease from someone. If someone's asymptomatic and they yell, they can still really spread the disease. But I applaud these people for coming, and hopefully in 6 months we would be able to see this again with full capacity. This is a picture that, well, we can remember of this time as a souvenir for this time. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, this is indeed a picture of Super Bowl playoff or semifinal of a Green Bay Packers game. So what struck me is that how all these spectators are socially distanced and sitting in small groups of families and so on. With that, I would like to have the next speaker.
I'll go next, Sudhir. This is Brian.
Hi, Brian. Please go ahead and pick a number between 1 to 10, except 7.
Okay. And just to be clear, before I pick my number, Sudhir, is the goal just to describe what we see in the picture or tell a story?
Correct. So the picture is pertaining some current affair in recent weeks or months. If you don't know, then you can build a story around it. It's all up to you.
Gotcha. Okay. I will choose the number 3.
Number 3.
Dun dun dun. Let's see.
And here is your picture.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. What I see in this picture is probably how all of us felt this past March once we found out that life as we know it is no longer the case here with coronavirus. It looks as though this is somewhere over in Asia, and it looks as though these are individuals that have been are getting acclimated to the new normal of what we see in our world today. I see several individuals wearing masks. I see a lot of social distancing that's here. Looks as though it's either can't tell if it's an airport or not, but either way, the young lady in the picture is definitely looks to be some sort of irritated with her eye or whatnot. Don't know if it's something in her eye or if she's just maneuvering her mask of some sort, but definitely looks to be a more recent picture of current events of what we see here today. And it looks like it's going to be here in the foreseeable future that's here. Also see a security guard in the background patrolling, also with a mask on his face, and two other individuals in the far back. Can't really tell whether or not both of these individuals have masks or not, but you can clearly see that everybody is social distancing, taking the necessary precautions to ensure that everybody is safe and not affecting everybody else in this picture. So, fellow Toastmasters and Mr. Toastmaster, thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Yes, this picture, these flight attendants are social distance. This is a recent picture actually from Indonesia, where the flight crashed into, and these colleagues of those who perished are grieving, and that flight attendant is crying, but they are still socially distancing. So with that, I would like to have my next volunteer.
But here, I'd like to take one, and I'll take number 8. And Steve, would you be able to fill in for me as timer for just my
Sure.
topic?
Sorry, I could not get your question.
So I said I'd like to do number 8.
Yep.
And I was wondering if Steve Miller could fill in as timer for me.
Yeah, which I will do.
Just on mine. Steve, I think you're on mute.
Oh, yes, I will be timer.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. This virtual background is kind of a cool feature.
Yeah.
I'm glad you taught me about that, Steve.
Okay, Steve, here's your picture.
Okay. Okay, great. Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. This is a very beautiful image of a beautiful city. And I believe what I'm seeing there in that image is something called a drone show. And I recently had the pleasure to go to Pine Knob to see one of our neighbors owns a company called Firefly Drones, and he has 410 drones which are coordinated in 3D, and he has these programs that they move around and flash different lights and create different images, and it's all set to music. And I was just shocked at what a fun experience it was, not really having high expectations. It sounded kind of, I don't know, kind of corny, compared to like a real fireworks show. And didn't have any of the loud bangs that you hear, but it was just a very serene, relaxing, beautiful experience. And like a lot of things, this picture doesn't really do it justice when you're standing in front of it and it's 300 feet across up in the sky. It was really pretty spectacular. So I would encourage everyone to attend one of these drone light displays if they have the opportunity. And give it back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, you're correct. This is indeed a drone light show from UAE. Since it has been a sad year, everyone needs something to cheer on, and we see all these light shows, torrential light shows, where they lit up the sky and the downtown. And I believe this drone show is depicting Santa and reindeers. I see reindeers in the blue, something like that. So it's beautiful. So with that, I would like to request.
I can go.
Is that Brian?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Brian. Please pick a number between 1 to 10, except except 7, 3, and 8.
10.
10. And let me pull your picture. Here is your picture, Brian.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Yeah, so it looks like we have our new norm for 2020, which is everybody gets to wear masks and shields, even newborn babies. And it just kind of makes you think of how far we've come in the last almost year now, where in March we had virtual riots at Costco, Target, Myers, just trying to get food, toilet paper, Band-Aids, and disinfectant. And now people are becoming more and more accustomed to it. And it's nice to see people taking necessary precautions whenever they're out in the open, even for little ones, especially little ones like that. It also makes you think about how much farther we have to go yet, too, because we're just starting the inoculation period. We're not even, as a country, 10% into the period yet. So I hope they can figure out ways to spread the vaccine out faster and more efficiently so we all can get inoculated as fast as possible, because it's 2 rounds of inoculation. So it's going to take some time, 300 million people times 2. So I would sit down, buckle up. We're going to be in this situation for a little while longer yet, but we're working through it. So sit tight, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Table Talks Master.
Thank you, Brian. Yes, as you can see from the picture, it's about protecting the newborn baby from the COVID and wrapping it in the face shield. So with that, I would like to request the next volunteer.
I can go next, Sudhir. This is Suma.
Hi, Suma. Please pick a number between 1 to 10, except 7, 3, 8, and 10.
9.
9. So let me pull your picture. And here's your picture.
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. So I have this picture here, definitely from winter season. It's all snowed out everywhere. I can just see snow, and some people are sitting outside and enjoying the snow or the weather. Um, we see two cars here that's buried in snow, and everywhere is just snow. It looks like few people are sitting outside and trying to enjoy the weather. I, coming from a very warm country, I couldn't enjoy the snow sitting outside, but we try to make the best of what we have. So it looks really fun to see that people are sitting outside and trying to have fun in the snow. It's hard to find activities to do during this winter time, and also because we are in a sort of lockdown quarantine time. So I think it's just a family sitting outside and having fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Suma. Yes, this is a picture of snowstorm just last week, I believe, in Madrid, Spain. It showed like multiple feet of snow, and people still enjoyed it. So with that, I would like to request next volunteer.
Sudhir, I can go next.
Thank you, Hemant. Please feel free to pick a number between 1 to 10, except 3, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I would go with 1.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull your picture. And here is your picture.
Thank you, Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters. Looking at this picture, it looks like some person who is trying to enter into an aeroplane, and suddenly he is faced with like some sort of public media and also like some amateur media or like freelancing media. So I'm guessing either this person is, maybe he's a senator, or maybe he participated in like some kind of event which is kind of controversial, or which has caused like a lot of curiosity among a lot of people. Yeah, my best guess is, given the political scenario, I'm thinking maybe he might have done something either for Trump or against Trump. That would be my best guess. And yeah, I'm trying to see whether it's in the first class. Looks like it's kind of in the first class, maybe. So my assumption would be like some politician who is like, who has done something with Trump, or like maybe took a stand against him. And I think media is trying to go frenzy on him, and like trying to get his opinion on like what's happening, and trying to see what's his take on whether he's for or whether he's against the particular incident. Yeah, back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Hemant. Yeah, this image is not of a American politician, but a politician. He is actually a Russian politician.
Okay.
I guess his name is pronounced as Navalny. He was in news recently because He was apparently poisoned by Putin administration, but
Oh,
he
he's
survived.
okay.
And after recovering, he decided to go back to Russia, where he's taking this flight, and he was put in prison immediately upon arrival in Russia.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about him, but I haven't seen any picture of him.
But you guessed it, quite close. He's a politician, so that's good enough. Okay, so with that, I would like to request next volunteer.
I can go. This is Katie.
Hi, Katie. Please pick a number between 2 or 4,
2,
5,
please.
6, 2. Okay. Let me pull your picture. Okay, here is your picture.
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. In the news, we've been hearing a lot about inoculation rates for the COVID virus and who's eligible and getting appointments. Like this picture is showing how tiny that virus is, or the vaccine is, but it has such a big impact when people can receive it. I know this vaccine's the first thing people talk about every time I go somewhere. Last night, virtually, of course, we were in our choir practice in Zoom. And when I dialed in, everybody was talking about if they'd gotten the shot or trying to make appointments and not being able to get one. So it's on the top of a lot of people's minds. And it seems to be different everywhere you go. I've heard of some family members who are doctors who have had both their shots already. My grandma lives in a nursing home in Wisconsin, and they're just scheduling their shots for hopefully the beginning of February. So it seems like there's a lot of variation in who gets the shot and when, and it's having a big impact on a lot of people. I also heard that there's places where they keep saying make an appointment to come, but because the vaccine has to be refrigerated, they can't reuse it the next day. So if people just show up, they'll be able to get it if people miss their appointment. It's a very complex problem to navigate, but it's having such a big impact on our world. It'll be interesting to see how things continue. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Katie. Yes, this is indeed a COVID vaccine vial, COVID vaccine shot. And the person who is holding it is actually Prime Minister Boris Johnson from UK. His head is not fully visible, but the other features you can figure it out. Yeah. So with that, I will request next volunteer.
Linda, would you like to try?
Or Linda, do you want to go?
Sorry, this is my first time, and I'm not familiar with Toastmaster your rules. So I think I probably not go this time. I needed to look at some material because I hear everyone has like before they talk about story, they have some title like thank you table master something, and so I
Oh, don't worry, we won't count that against you. So feel free. It's just impromptu, very informal.
Yeah, Linda, there's nothing to it. You just say, Mr. Table Topics Master, Mr. Toastmaster, and fellow Toastmasters. And then when you end, you just say, Mr. Table Topics Master.
what's that? Is Mr. Table Master?
Table Topics Master, but it's not important.
Table Topics Master. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sounds like she said yes, so go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Pick a number between 4, 5, 6,
6.
6. Okay, if you are in social media, you might have seen some version of this picture recently. And it's really ridiculous how it spread. Let me share your picture.
Thank you, Miss Table Topic Master and the guest. Yeah, this is a very famous recently picture center and during the new president ceremony. A lot of people provide some comments on this on this photo, and also humor this photo. This is so from my understanding, this is the big point for all American. So what I can see is I mean, in the past, in the American history, we overcome all the challenges. So I believe we can overcome these challenges as well. Thank you, Table Topic Master. Sorry about that. This is my first time.
No, you did good.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah, so this is, as all of you know, picture of Senator Bernie Sanders, and he's sitting there in the inauguration of President Joe Biden, all by himself in those mittens. And for some reason, this picture went viral, where people put all kinds of internet memes, superimposing his image into different context scenarios and so on.
Yeah, so I just want to add to that. So the mittens were made by a school teacher with recycled materials, and he is wearing them. So it just went viral, and the woman who made those mittens, she got so many requests to for these mittens, but she didn't obviously sell those.
Yeah, I think there is a story behind mittens too. Yeah.
I think this is my first time seeing the actual photo of Senator Sanders. I've seen probably hundreds of the memes on social media. So thank you for choosing that number, Linda.
Yeah.
Thank you for your word, Brian.
Yeah. How about Callion?
Yeah, I can go ahead, Sudhir.
Yeah, so please pick a number between, I would say, 4 and 5.
Okay, I'll go with 4.
Okay, number 4. Let me share a picture. So this is also a recent event.
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The picture I see it is the most recent event on January 20th, maybe around 11 a.m. EST or 9 a.m. as far as I recall, this might be the final flight for the then President Trump leaving White House to his resort Mar-a-Lago in Florida to the Sunshine State. And he is accompanied by his wife, Melania Trump, and off to the next plan, Mr. Topics Master.
Oh, Callion, yeah, you should just try to talk until you see the green. Just keep going.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Again,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I kind of like mentally thought, okay, I'll stop, sir.
Okay.
Maybe I had to start another story otherwise.
Okay.
No problem, Kalyan. Thank you. You did nail the picture correctly. It's the picture of President Trump and his wife, First Lady Melania Trump. And it's their final picture on the White House lawns. They are boarding the Marine One to Andrews Joint Base Station Airport, from where they took Air Force One to go to Florida. I guess that concludes our table topics.
Yeah. Sudhir, how about ask for the timing report and account report?
Sure. Can I have that timing report for the table topics?
Sure. Steve Miller spoke for 2 minutes, 28 seconds. Brian